On board as well, Robert Weiner, Democratic strategist, columnist, and former communications director for Clinton drug czar General Barry McCaffrey. He's also former chief of staff of the House Committee on Aging, and lest anybody thinks that Bob just didn't have enough time on his hands, he also managed to, in the past, be the press secretary for both Congressman Rangel and Conyers of New York and Michigan, respectively. Bob, good to have you back.
It's a pleasure, Alan. I hope we can get into Max Baucus's contributions as a possible explanation of where he's coming from. He was detested by all who fought for health care all the way through it.
Mr. Baucus is not the only one who sees Obamacare as a train wreck without additional revenues.
Reid, though, is trying to save it by the money that's necessary to implement it. It's two separate arguments. And Reid is absolutely right that the Republicans are trying their hardest to bleed with everything they can the program that Mitt Romney says was the reason that Barack Obama won, because it's so helpful to people out there that they wanted the benefits. It was very funny when Romney blamed Obamacare for losing the election.
Well, the funny thing is, Chris Matthews insists that the reason Obama was able to win was because of Hurricane Sandy, and he celebrated that fact.
He
despite how many people were killed, displaced.
Yeah.
And you said, what'd you say about him just now? I think
I said that he ate his words on that one, saying he said he was stupid and absolutely insensitive. He knew he made a mistake on that one.
Because many companies are going to find providing Obamacare untenable, that particular pledge of the president's will not be universally realized. Again, 7 million people will be shown the door. Bob Weiner.
Because you have some employers who are schmucks is not an argument against Obamacare. It is obvious that you have to make some sacrifices to get correction to the fact that premiums were going up at 100% per decade the last 3 decades. So the myth of it costing more now under Obamacare when it's in fact slicing down the prices to a lot less than that is never told.
That the administration's version of what happened when our consulate in Benghazi was set ablaze and 4 of our own lost their lives was just simply not in any way, shape, or form accurate. Bob, how do you see things coming out?
Words we can't use on your air about what they can do, anything they can do that would dirty Hillary Clinton's record as Secretary of State. So they're really trying very, very hard to do what the American people are getting pretty bored of, which is to go back at Benghazi. The fact of the matter is, and Amy, I think you'd probably agree with this too, that because Bush was asleep at the switch by focusing on Iraq, al-Qaeda expanded into 100 countries, and we have a worldwide disaster impending, no matter how many times we want to say al-Qaeda's on the run. In fact, they and their spin-offs are everywhere and got to grow because Bush focused so hard on Iraq.
It's beginning to sound like the kind of behavior that bores the crap out of parents when their kids just refuse to own up to their own crap. Now, this man said what he said. Nobody else said it. Yet for some reason, now that he's being exposed, it's Bush's fault. Do you see how infantile he's beginning to sound, as are those who defend him? Bob Weiner.
Well, I don't think it was infantile that Obama went sole source, quiet, no information out there, and as a result got bin Laden, whereas Bush farmed it out and let
Sole
Obama
search,
run
no
away.
information out there. I'm sorry. Leon Panetta already made it abundantly clear that but for the enhanced interrogation strategies of the Bush administration, what happened getting Osama bin Laden would not have occurred.
Well, you may see that as black and white, but John McCain and others don't, and that isn't the reason that Obama got bin Laden. It was because of sole source intel special ops, which Bush didn't do. He screwed around and farmed it out to other countries.
We may not know what they're going to say, but they feel it's important enough to risk their careers over. That tells you it's something. So, yeah, we are barely at the beginning of this thing.
Let me make a point here. You're right, Amy, but this is a bit like Ron Brown, who told the plane to fly even though it was in danger. This ambassador should not have himself gone to Benghazi without security, and if he knew that the security was weak there, he should have brought his own security and surrounded that building on his own, with knowing that that was going to be a potential
Is there
danger.
nothing in you that can hold this administration responsible
well,
for
that's
what
part
was
of the
clearly
administration,
under
but
its...
the ambassador himself has not been blamed, and there should be some blame at that.
He was a